guitar industry as a whole, guitar players tend to gravitate toward overdrive and distortion pedals more than any other genre of pedals that is out there. However, one of my favorite tones when it relates to the guitar sound of my favorite guitar players actually has to do less with their overdriven sound and more to do with their clean sound. And one of the best clean sounds that I've ever heard in my life, whether you're talking about the beautiful cleans of a John Mayer or a Robin Ford or a Larry Carlton, they invariably have one thing in common. They're using a Dumble amplifier. However, when most people hear the D word, Dumble, they usually think of a lead tone of a player like Robin Ford and not the beautiful clean tone that you can hear in his comping rhythm sounds, or the beautiful clean tone of John Mayer when he's playing something like a Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, or any number of songs where he may have used a Dumble. But irrespective of how you may have typecast the sound of a Dumble in your head, I think one of Dumble's best amps that he ever made, the most unique amp that he ever made, was actually the most simple, a single channel amplifier called a steel string singer. And I was lucky enough early on in my career of making pedals to have access to one of those amps to design and voice a pedal around, which was our Steel String Mark I. Now, if you're not familiar with our Steel String series, it's one of our most popular pedals that we've ever released, and it is based on the classic Dumble Steel String Singer, with which we had the very first one ever made to voice this pedal against, and all the derivatives that have released subsequently. Now, the Steel String Supreme Slight Return Edition, which I'm holding here on my right side, is basically a double-sized version of our smaller Steel String Mark II Slight Return Edition. And this foot switch right here activates that same steel string circuit, and we have dedicated knobs that resemble exactly what's on the smaller steel string, so you can have the same exact control and same exact circuit. However, there's a second channel on this foot switch, which gives you even further control and ability to tweak than is even possible with the smaller MK2 version. For the purposes of today, we will be focusing exclusively on the Steel String Supreme, however, because of all the things that it does, not only being able to use this as an amplifier on its own into a cab simulation, but also use it to warm up and beautify a amp modeler, or to actually use it into a tube amp or a backline amp and make it sound more like those classic D-style sounds of all those artists that we all know and love. So what I'll do in the demonstrations today is I'm going to use multiple different guitars. I'm going to use an S-style guitar, a T-style guitar, a Les Paul, and a 335 so that we can hear the pedal in various different contexts. And you're going to get to hear us crossfade between all these different types of setups in real time. I'm going to be using a Lely splitter so that I'm able to go into multiple different setups at the same time, all using the Steel String Supreme Slight Return Edition. And so then that way there's no gap, there's no delay in playing that would account for any sort of differences that are related to what my pick attack is doing. So let's start with a Strat. Heard the Strat. Now I have changed over to a G&L ASAT Classic Blues Boy. I'm in the bridge position, and we're going to repeat the same exact sequence that we did with the Strat. So that was the Tele style, the ASAT Classic Blues Boy. I've now moved to a Les Paul. We're going to go through the same sequence. I'm going to be in the neck position, and let's give this a listen. So you heard the Les Paul. I've now moved to an ES335, and we're going to continue the same exact sequence that we did before, again with this guitar using the neck pickup. Let's have a listen. So you've got to hear the Steel String Supreme Slight Return Edition, using it in several different contexts. I think irrespective of which context might be right for you, you can hear that there is an appreciable change in the tone. And to my ear, this is something that I want to hear from my clean tone. I want more character. I want more life. I want more body. And I think if you're somebody that wants to enhance your tone, bring some of that classic clean tone vibe that you would have heard from some of those classic Dumbles and some of those classic players, I think this is going to be a really great pedal for you. So I hope that this was a valuable exploration. It certainly was great to hear all these different contexts for me as the maker of the pedal and getting to really hear it in real time and all these different applications with which I had in my head and maybe had tried individually, but never all at the same time. And I hope this is valuable to you as you decide on what pedals you might want to put on your pedal board, and hopefully this might be one of them. If you're interested in purchasing this pedal, I highly recommend you head over to our website. We have a list of all of our dealers. We'll also have some links in the description and maybe a pinned comment that shows some dealers that have the product available, so you can go ahead and buy it now if you're interested in it. And if you want to support us further, we have several different ways to do that. One is you can listen to our podcast, The Chairman of the Boards. We come out with a new episode every single Monday. Or you can head over to therigdr.com and purchase a tone consult, a one-on-one consultation with me about your rig, your tone, your gear, and ways that you can improve it. And thirdly, you can buy accessories from us over on therigdr.com, things like cables, pedal boards, and all the things that you would need to connect all of your pedals and pedal boards are all available there. Until next time, I am Mason Marangella from Vertex Effects, aka The Rig Doctor, and that was an exploration of the Steel String Supreme Slight Return Edition Double Preamp. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.